Okay, so we have game 6 on the board here. We have block market, which is perhaps not the best thing you want to see when you're 2-3 down, but we'll see what happens with it. We also have some trashing in Spice Merchant and Raise, nice things in Workers Village and Wild Hunt, Mystic too if you like. So there's wall also, the trashing definitely helps with dealing with the wall points. But wall really shouldn't deter you from going into the block market. You never know what nice things you'll be able to find in the block market. So I'm going to open with Spice Merchant and Block Market against my opponent Spice Merchant and Raise, which is also reasonable. My block market is to try to fish as many times as possible into the block market to pick up nice things. More so than my opponent, of course. So here, rats is nice because I don't gain any rats. There's no rats in the supply, so a nice little trasher there, and I get to pick up a raise alongside it. So I feel like I'm set for trashing. Of course, you don't need it on this board, right? It's not like rats is the only trashing on the board. There's Spice Merchant and Raise, which is perfectly reasonable combination to trash things out of your deck. Quite fast too, actually. My opponent gets a Wild Hunt here. On 5, I put a second block market into my deck. Again, I'm trying to fish, right? Fish, trying to get the nice things out before my opponent. Oh. Oh. Well, so that is how this game ends. That's 4-2 to my opponent. I will thank you for watching, and I will see you in the Dominion League. I'm, of course, being facetious there, but the Outpost is an extremely strong pull out to the block market for my opponent. 4 is obviously a Workers Village here. Extremely strong pull. Because he'll get thin eventually. Like I said, the rats, while it is nice, it's not essential. But the outpost means once he's set up, and he will be set up, he'll get 2 turns and I'll only get 1. And no matter how well you play, how much thought you put into your game, if your opponent has 2 turns and you have 1 turn, as long as they do something semi-reasonable, you're done. You're dead. There's nothing you could do. Nothing you could do about it. 2-1 is just too much. It's just too much. So, can't give up hope yet, right? I have to go look for ways to scrap this thing in the block market. A knight will do, a rogue will do, something like that, something that trashes out from my opponent's hand. I don't quite see it here. I do pick up the ambassador because I want to, maybe junk him. If I could put more junk into his deck than he can trash out, then that might slow him down. Oh look, the knight I was looking for, it's over there. It's gone now. It's gone. The knight is gone. At least I know it's in the black market deck, right? So if I wait long enough, I can go through these 60 or so cards, get back around to the knight. I mean, I don't have any other options at this point in the game. Use the ambassador, slow him down as much as possible. Archive here, I considered picking up the archive. I decided against it and decided to pick up a Wild Hunt instead. Maybe that's wrong. Not entirely sure, but the Wild Hunt is a decent card too. So like I said, I just have to slow him down long enough and then go back through the black market, find the knight. Oh look, Giant also trashes. What a shame that I can't get it. I don't... My opponent gets the Giant, which doesn't look good for me. He'll slowly start trashing things out of my deck, and he's clean. He's clean now. Here comes the Outpost. Here comes the Outpost. I was fortunate on the first few turns that the Outpost didn't do much for him. This King's Court in the black market. Oh gosh. This King's Court in the black market. But slowly, surely, the Outpost turns start to become bigger and better, and I'm sunk. I'm sunk. There's only so many cards in Dominion that trashes. Anyway, only so many cards are trashes. And we've passed, and there's a rogue left. What are the chances there's rogue? There's 60 out of like 200 cards or something. None of these are helpful at all. And I'm also lacking in money here. I only have $4 and that's not enough to buy rogue. So I need to fix that immediately. Best and quickest way I think to do so would be to pick up a Feardom. Feardom develop is also an option, but I don't have the actions to perhaps develop rats and then draw the nice things. Maybe I could do it, but the Feardom I think is simpler because I'll just use the rats to trash it, get 3 silvers, draw back the silvers with the Wild Hunt is the plan. Here. But at this point, like I said, from the time he picked up the Outpost, it's almost like GG, really. Very sad ending to the game here. If I don't find something to trash real fast, things will get out of hand real quick. So he picks up just the Workers Village on the Outpost in there. Not bad. Not the greatest, though. So I'll take it. I have to take it and move on here, right? The Spice Merchant is slowly becoming obsolete. I'll have to get rid of it with the develop was my plan anyway. Here's the Feardom, and I don't see the rat straight away. So, you know, things like this make the game even more difficult for me than it already is. If I'd seen the rats and then the Wild Hunt, you know, we might have been on a decent shape. There's the Rogue. So if I'd seen the rats, Wild Hunt, and I'd drawn, picked up the Rogue, so maybe I would have had a shot. So at least I see the Rogue, but it was on the wrong black market. It was on the first one. If it was on the second one, I would have had enough money to buy. Oh, what can you do sometimes? Anyways, by this point, my opponent has his deck under control. The Ambassador is doing nothing to him whatsoever, except giving him a plus buy with the Spice Merchant, maybe, which is not good for me that I'm giving him an extra plus buy. And he's just piling up the Wild Hunt points, and he just has the game on the lock, stock, and barrel here. That's not a saying, I just merged two things, but he has it under control. Yeah, he has it under control, so not much of a spoiler, but I end up losing this game, and I also end up losing as a result the match, and that puts me out of the tournament. I'll speed up the game here very shortly because it's really just him buying out the Workers Villages, the Wild Hunts, and the Razors to win the game, and collecting some points off the Wild Hunt just to make sure I don't sneak a 3-pile somehow. But yeah, I suffer a loss in round 5 here, and this was very disappointing for me. I'm extremely disappointed with this score, with my performance in this match. By seeding, I was preferred actually to get into the top 8, and that was my goal for this tournament. The curse here is to try to junk him with curses, but it isn't gonna work. You're just gonna buy razors and get rid of them. So as I was saying, yeah, my goal for myself was to get top 8 in the tournament here. I didn't. I get top 32. That's not good enough. There is prizes at top 8, but that's not really why I wanted to be in the top 8. I just wanted to be in the top 8 for, you know, being in the top 8. So the loss was, like I mentioned, quite disappointing, extremely disappointing, extremely depressing as well. The militia here is just icing on the cake, right? It left me quite dejected. I wasn't in a happy place then, to put it mildly. It really shattered my confidence in playing Dominion here. There's not much to say really. I'm quite disappointed with how this turned out with my play here. To leave the tournament in round 5 is not something I expected, not something I wanted for myself. It left me with a lot of soul searching to do about my approach to the game here, especially in the mental aspect. I mean, to me, anything that you're doing, whether it be like playing Dominion or whatever it is you do in your life, if it's not enriching your life in some way, then you're either doing it wrong or you're doing the wrong thing, and you need to address that as soon as possible, ideally. So these are some of the thoughts that came out of this end result here for me. I also need to work on the mental aspect in terms of concentration, right? Ever since I found 6 games in the league to be quite difficult to concentrate on for that length of time. Usually I play the first 2 or 3 good, and then my powers of concentration wane. So that is also something I need to work on for the future. I mean, still a lot of work to do for me here. I want to be one of the best players out there in the game, and I still have some work to do to get there. Anyways, to end on a happier note, I'd like to say thank you to ShuffleIT for organizing the competition, and to all the people who volunteered as moderators to organize. Thank you very much. And hopefully I can do better in the next tournament. Up next on the channel, I have the league coming up, and hopefully there'll be a bunch of Nocturne matches in there. Alright, see you.